Welcome to TrekTrav. I am Trav, and this is your Star Trek Lower Deck Season 4, Episode 4 review in the Cradle of Vexilon. So sit back, let's hitch a ride with a Cerritos for this 4th episode, and maybe you could tell me what you liked about this episode in the comments. You could like, you could comment, you could subscribe, all of the YouTubey stuff. So we have into a giant space ring, Carasonia, I believe, designed by a long extinct species, controlled by an ancient computer called Vexilon. They say the title name. The inhabitants live an idealistic life, artists and poets. And it's turned topsy-turvy because Vexilon is the machine that runs this, has gone a bit crazy. Captain Freeman ignores the need for an engineer to fix it because she studied technology at the academy, and it doesn't go well. Boimler's been assigned his first mission to take charge of. He's boosting himself up because he has low confidence. Talin catches him and begins discussing command. I really enjoy the fact that we're getting to see Boimler in a command role, especially since the energy pylons he's repairing may blow up at any moment. Mariner, Tendi, and Rutherford enter a room with all the weird and freaky stuff from different planets. We get a Alamarine game from DS9, a Betazoid message box, and a probe from Inner Light. They are assigned to scan thousands of isolinear chips. One of them is apparently broken. The chips get hot, the air gets toxic, and there's a ferret loose for some reason. And they kind of think they're getting hazed. Captain Freeman tries to install updates, and Vexilon shuts down. A bit of a problem, and the weather controls start going crazy. The clouds fall out of the sky, apparently made of glass. And it starts snowing, and the weather is just going crazy. Boimler tries to rush his crew, and then his anxiety sort of gets the best of him because it's quite dangerous, and he stops the ensigns from doing the mission and starts pretending to teach them while doing the job himself. The energy core they're trying to fix looks kind of like the warp drive from Star Trek Enterprise. Rutherford and Tendi and Mariner finish the report back, and are probably told there's a second wall of isolinear chips. Seems like hazing is probably a bit more likely. They decide to get the lieutenant back. Freeman keeps trying to fix Vexilon, but it keeps going wrong, and she gets billets to beam down. Freeman tries something and it screws up even more. I'd recommend turning it on and off again, is what I thought. Vexilon reboots and starts to re-terraform the planet ring thing. Boimler at this point is taking over the job, and Talin points out that he should give the job back to the team. Freeman tells him to put the parts back in the machine and so she can fix Vexilon. A volcano appears. So using the Alamarine game, Betazoid message box, and probe from the Inner Light for some reason, they booby trap the lieutenant's room. Upon leaving, they're told by the lieutenant that if they didn't fix the isolinear chips, it would be catastrophic, and they sort of give it up on that. And that he was caught in the Alamarine game, like he just full guilt trips them. Tendi, Rutherford, and Mariner look at each other in guilt. Mariner distracts the lieutenant by talking about music with him, and the other two go and disarm the booby traps and try and find the isolinear trap the isolinear chip that's fucked up. Boimler confides to Talin that he was an ensign last week, and this week he's expected to be in command of people who were his equals before. And Talin has this nice moment with Boimler where she sort of confirms Ransom made the right decision. And then he promptly turns around and goes, Talin said that I have to put you in danger. We're going to do this. I laughed at that moment. We all know that manager. Rutherford gets caught in the Alamarine game. Mariner is stuck talking about music with the lieutenant. Tendi is scanning a storm. Rutherford is rushing through the game and not paying attention, passing each level with ease. Like, obviously, it's the same game from Deep Space Nine. Rutherford falls out of the game. The Betazoid box gets scanned by the Inner Light probe and then says he misses his wife. It was quite funny. I had a giggle. Boimler's done. Freeman reboots the computer. Boimler sends his crew back to the shuttle while he goes to save the day. Then the whole thing explodes, and I actually thought Boimler was dead. I don't know why. I should have known because it's a pun of the series. But we do get to see God Koala, and it is so good. Koala around the universe is a nice little Lower Decks focus reference. Boimler's then resuscitated, and Ransom jokes about it being his first death. It happens all the time, which is a common thing in the series. The crew are talking about the events of the episode, and then we get it confirmed by Ransom and the lieutenant that it was in fact a hazing, and that's just a very brief synopsis of the episode. Now, I really enjoyed the episode. It was actually a very not funny episode in terms of it actually felt like the crew had things to do. Like the hazing thing was enjoyable, but it was very sort of, I want to say, it was a very Star Trek-y episode. Boimler's got his thing, and there's a lot of energy because it's a cartoon. But the computer and everything like that, the planet, the Vexilon or runs, is like the Halo from the Halo games, but it's like this beautiful artisan thing. But the art's apparently crap according to Ransom. Apparently he's a big art critic. I love the fact that Captain Freeman is sort of confident in her abilities until it goes all to shit, and then she calls Billups in. It's a really fun episode. This one felt like a very specifically Lower Decks episode. You had the Tendi, Rutherford and Mariner doing a sort of standard sort of work job, and then you have the hazing element, which makes it quite entertaining. You have Freeman sort of being the captain, Ransom being very much the commander. Boimler is the main emotional part of the episode, in that you see that he's trying to get better in command. He's trying to sort of be a good leader, and he's doing all those things. And like, I've been team leaders in various different roles, and you want to be sort of everyone's friend, but at the same time you want to be in charge. You want to be friendly, but also assertive. You need to get the job done. We all know those sort of new managers and how they sort of try and work themselves out. And the crux of the episode is it's sort of growing into that lieutenant junior grade role for all of them, but very much for Boimler. And I think this is the way it needs to go for Lower Decks. I enjoy seeing the Lower Decks crew do something and move along home. And it's just it's a fun Lower Decks episode with minimal references. And I'd like to see more of these in the season. Anyway, tell me what you think. Write it in the comments. Subscribe, like, comment. And I'll see you on Sunday with the Earth Final Conflict reviews coming back. Have a good night.